All right, good morning. It's December 15th, and this is the IWN.Haus Building 3D presentation, and it's a walkthrough. It's very short. It's about 15 minutes with me narrating. It might be a little bit longer, maybe 20 minutes, but that's to the extent of it. It's a pre-recorded video walkthrough prepared by the architect. And so it's 11 o'clock right on the dot, 11:01. So I'm going to give it a few minutes just in case some people are still coming in or if no one registered. Well, we had 10 people registered. It actually was a sold out event. So thank you to everyone who registered. And if you could not attend for whatever reason, I will post this to YouTube. And I will also post the video itself, as well as this particular Zoom video. So it'll be two different posts. It'll be one, the Zoom call with me narrating the video live, and then it'll be another post, which is just a narration of the video itself. So it'll be two different things. So you have two different posts, basically the same thing, but one is the Zoom call, and the other one would just be the video itself. It'll probably have some music, me talking, that type of thing. That one will be a shorter video. So it'll probably be, I think it'll probably be exactly 15 minutes. This one will probably be, the Zoom call will probably be more like 15, 20 minutes. All right, so I am going to get ready to share my screen, and so that I could go ahead and finish up my work on this video. All righty. So let me go ahead. I am in Rush Premiere. I'm editing the video. So if someone comes in, please say something. I don't see anybody coming in right now, so I'm just going to keep on editing this video. This is the outdoor portion. In-house. Just want to make sure I get that done. This is the outdoor portion. So I'm going to go to the inside. All right, so we're on the inside now. Yes, I'm just editing the video since there's nobody here. So this part of the video will probably be cut. Yes, let me see here. All right, Gail is here. Gail, thank you for coming. I know you're on mute. You can unmute yourself and we will get started. Thank you very much. I'm just doing one little edit here. IWN.Haus Club. Interior. All right, Gail, I know you're here, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. I know I can see you, so I'm going to go ahead.
Hi, Dante. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I apologize for being late. My manager wanted to talk to me. I kept saying, I got 11 o'clock. I got 11 o'clock.
Hey, I understand. I appreciate you. It was a sold out event. It was 10 people registered, so we'll see if anyone else comes. But okay. I'm going to go ahead and run this pre-recorded walkthrough so you can. I'll narrate it live. It should be maybe no more than 15 minutes. Let me go ahead and put the window so we can make it maximize preview. All righty.
Yeah, so I saw where it was sold out because I went yesterday and I said, well, did I sign up for this? And then I looked and see, oh yeah, I signed up for it.
Yeah. All right. So this is the walkthrough video for IWN.Haus. And so I'm just going to narrate this live. This is the video that was prepared by the architect. So it doesn't really look blurry like that. I think that's just the way that he made the walkthrough video. It's a real sharp image and all of that. And I'm still learning how to navigate this whole Blender 3D model. Okay. I have it, and I can't navigate it successfully. But we're on the outside of the building. We're going through the alleyway, which is the roadway that goes to the back. And that's what you're looking at. So there's basically palm trees around the building with some fencing. And this is designed, inspired by the Southern California beach house. Mm-hmm. And so I'll reference that in the blog post. But this is the back part of the building. So there's some parking in the back. And there's some entryways into the back of the building he didn't stop to show you that. But there are some entryways into the back. There's two doors. One goes into the building and the other one goes into like the printing area of the building. So this is the side walkway of the building that has some concrete and kind of like some grass going through the concrete, which I kind of like that. And again, I apologize. This is kind of blurry. This is a 640 by 480 video. It's not regular high, HD video. Mm-hmm. So it's just a walk-through visualization that he provided me with. So now we're out in the front of the building again. We're going to walk through the building now. And this is level 1. This is the first floor. And so this is a ADA ramp here. So ADA compliant entrance. Some sliding doors and then some wood doors. And this first section right here is, I'll just stop it real quick. This is a reception area for personalized newspaper, which is the digital printing that will occupy primarily most all of the first floor. So that's where I'll be doing the digital printing. And that area is not shown, but this is the reception for it. And this is reception lobby. And there's also a big conference room on this floor for people to meet and discuss, clients and so forth that might want to do some personalized newspaper type stuff. This is a design prep center. There's 6 Mac stations there, and similar to like a Kinko's when you come in and you want do some work. Yeah, this is this upcoming room is the kitchen area right here on the right door. So there's a kitchen in there. It's full kitchen area, typical office kitchen. This is a office for this particular floor, sort of like a management office. It has a private bathroom in it, and it's typical office, basically. Now, this area right here that's not shown, as you can see, there's off to the right, there's some bathrooms, and there's also the digital printing area, which is a huge area, but there's nothing in that space. And I'm assuming he probably didn't show that because I knew what it was. When he did this, he wasn't assuming that I was going to show this to anyone. This was mainly just for me. So now we're going down into the basement area. And the basement area is where Internet Webpages newspaper headquarters will be. As you can see the logo there. So I'm in the basement. And this is where I will be doing all of my business that I'm doing right now. Website, graphic design, printing, brokering, all of that will all be down here. And it's a similar setup to the first floor. There's some computer, graphic, and web design stations here, same as on the first floor. There's a larger conference room. It's just switched around a different way, almost identical. 3 monitors. And then that room that you saw next to it was just a storage room. It was like a janitor room. That was kind of an empty space. And this is ideally the same setup as what we just saw on the first floor. There's a storage room to the immediate right that's hidden. And then there's a kitchen area right here. And so it's the same setup, identical to the first floor. And then there's also a office here, it's a private office here. Again, same as the first floor. The first floor and the basement are almost identical setups. And off to the side here is the printing area, which is just open storage. And there's also 2 sets of bathrooms that you can't see that are there.
Okay.
And if you have any questions, just ask me. I'll stop the video. But we've done 2 floors so far. So we're going to go up to, I think it's the 2nd floor. He's just going to go into the elevators. There's 2 elevators, but The elevators are not like, it's not going to take us upstairs or anything. He's just going to stop the video and we'll be on floor 2.
Okay.
Now, floor 2 is this particular area is a gallery and events space, but it also has a training space, which is the e-commerce entrepreneurs e-commerce academy. And then there's also a metaverse agency called Metaverse Solutions. And so, so that is something that people will be trained to do e-commerce, and they'll also be trained to do metaverse on this particular floor. And this is also a gallery and event space. It's set up as a gallery now, but it seats 100 people. And this is private rental suites. So there's 2 sets of these. This is the first one. They're identical. And there's also, I just want to pause this. There's some phone booths on this floor as well. They're on the 3rd floor too. But as you can see straight ahead, there's 4 phone booths. So if people need to make private calls, they can go into these phone booth areas. And this is just a gallery space. Again, this space is configurable for 100 seats. But it's set up as a gallery because I thought that was more scenic than just putting a bunch of chairs out there. This first room right here is a training room, and it's more of an incubator accelerator, but it's mainly a training room where people can come and learn how to set up their business, set up a website, or we can have extended programming like incubator accelerator type programming, all in this space right here. And this right here is a dedicated room which is dedicated to the Entrepreneurs E-commerce Academy, which is mainly an online direct-to-consumer brand type of a situation where we're putting people up online, setting up their websites, setting up their brands so that they could do, online sales. And this is the metaverse room right here. So this is more of an agency type room, more of a group room, but it has 2 private stations in there for people who might be working on products that might need to be, interfacing with clients, talking to clients privately about their metaverse, 3D renderings and so forth. And then this goes into the gallery area a little bit more. You can kind of see the gallery space there.
Very nice.
Thank you. It has been updated. This is an older version, but it has been slightly updated. And so this is a ADA compliant restroom for wheelchair access. And then he's going to take you to the gallery a little bit, just to kind of pan around in the gallery space. So it's a nice sized gallery area, which I think will be great for the community and great for engagement. And these are just additional restrooms. The restrooms are configured with showers. These particular restrooms were not supposed to be configured with showers, but most of the restrooms in the entire building have showers in them. And because this is mainly a co-working space, and I also wanted to make sure that if people needed to do events, that they didn't have to run home to get dressed to do something. Yeah. And this is just a storage space right here. So yeah, that's pretty much the second floor. He's going to walk you through the gallery again. As you can see, it's kind of a nice size space. Could put quite a bit of either LCD monitors or a combination of art and LCD. So you could do like an NFT gallery, that type of thing. And then this back area is a kitchen area. So there's a kitchen back here, it's full kitchen, stove, refrigerator, microwave, all of that. It's plenty of storage.
Wow.
Yeah. And this is the back stairway, we're going up to the 3rd floor. And this 3rd floor is the journalist and content creator co-working center. So it has a bunch of different rooms up in here. And this, let me see, where is he taking us? I think he's taking us in the kitchen first. So this is a kitchen and cafe area, identical almost to the one below, but slightly larger. And then this is a kind of a break room where you can come and shoot pool. There's also a bar in here. It doesn't have to be an alcoholic bar. It could be a juice bar, coffee bar, but it's set up as a bar. And there's a monitor. The skate, those skate pictures are actual LCD monitors.
Okay.
Now, on this particular floor, this is for journalists mainly. So this would be, instead of like the metaverse station, this would be like a journalist co-working center. So if it's a team of journalists are working on like a digital newspaper, they would have interview rooms right here to do their Skype calls or their Zoom calls for interviews. These are hot desk rentals right here. So there's 4 of those in that space, and there's 2 sets of these hot desk rental rooms available. This is the second set of rooms. And then there's also a what I call a breaking news room, which is a newsroom for people who are, editors and writers, journalists that are digital, who might need to just file their stories. This is a conference room on this floor. Mm-hmm. And that's a large monitor that you see. These 2 rooms that are blank that he didn't show, one is a photography studio and a video studio. They're not configured, but that's what those spaces are for.
Wow.
Yeah, so this whole floor is journalists and content creator co-working center. So I wanted to make sure that there was enough space for people to be doing the full range of creativity. And so there's a business center, that empty space. These are more private rental suites, identical to on the second floor. So there's 2 suites that are for rent up here, which are private suites, which could be more extended type suites for businesses that want to operate out of the center. And this is the second private rental suite. So it's like an executive office. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So a person can run their business out of here for, some period of time, not forever. These are just the bathrooms. The bathrooms, again, all have showers. So there's a men's room and women's bathroom, basically. And these are the podcast rooms right here. There's 2 sets of these. So you could do your podcast, and you could also edit the podcast in the room. There's 2 of those rooms. This particular room is a web developer studio, but he didn't put the seating in here. But this is a web developer studio meant for people who are doing web design. And this is the podcast room 2. So it's 2 of those podcast rooms. There's also a private kitchen area for people, journalists and, content creators who might want to have a private dinner with their clients or something. This is a private dinner area. And there's also a kitchen and a cafe in addition to the private dining space. So now we're going up to the 4th floor. This is almost the last part of it. And part of the 4th floor is a open air rooftop patio.
Okay. Oh, nice.
So there's a lot of seating, benches, private little areas, seating. It looks really comfortable up here. This would be perfect for the community to do private events. And the way that I want to do this, I'm just going to stop it real quick. The way that I want to do this is that the IWN.Haus Club, the 4th floor, would be run by a coworking, not a coworking, but a cooperative that would be community based. Okay. So you would have people that are running this particular portion of the building, as well as the gallery space, and they would be co-owners of these particular spaces. And so they would be able to profit from this, and it would be part of the building, but it would mainly be community driven. Mm-hmm. So this is just the interior part. 2 bars, there's a large kitchen area, pretty much almost set up as the other spaces, but it's a kind of a blank space. It's kind of open. So it lends itself to parties, events, weddings, private gatherings. Mm-hmm. These are bathrooms over here. Same as before. Each bathroom has shower and nice stall in there, women's and men's. And this is pretty much almost it.
Very nice.
You like it?
I do.
Yeah. So this is just kind of like the reception area. When you get off the elevator, you're at the IWN.Haus Club, which is the 4th floor. So half of this space is inside. So during the winter months, People can party inside, have events inside. And then, of course, during the summer months, they could go out onto the patio. And again, my goal is to have this be community cooperative owned so that the community can feel like they have some stakeholdership in the building.
That's awesome, Dante.
You like that? Oh, well, thank you. Yeah.
So Sam.
Hey, Sam, how you doing? I didn't see you come in. Yeah, thank you.
I got it.
Yeah, great. Any questions so far? I know that was a really quick presentation. I'm going to post this online to YouTube and you'll be able to go through it privately.
Okay. So I do have some questions.
Okay.
So you're basing it on a Southern California beach house. And yes. I know when you showed the exterior and the landscaping, there were palm trees.
Yes.
Where is this building going to be located?
Ideally, I would like it to be, somewhere in Bronzeville, possibly, opportunity zone area. Okay. Ideally.
Okay. So that can happen. Okay. So with that said, are you in love with the palm trees, or are we doing evergreen trees, or what are you going to do there? Or have you thought about it?
I haven't really thought about that part. I am in love with the palm trees, but it could be a combination of trees. I think what the architect was striving for was a more beachy look because he knew that I was inspired by the Southern California beach house. And so that's why I think he has that there. But I'm completely open to whatever is.
No, I'm right. I don't know if you thought about it, but from a landscaping standpoint, I don't think palm trees can grow here, but you can find out and go from there. So
I'll check into that. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So that's the only thing when I saw it. And if you want greenery all year round, it has to probably be some type of evergreen in this climate, but double check it. So
I will. But I would love to have trees lining that space.
You can have beautiful landscaping, but again, you probably have to figure out what plants and trees and colors, work well in this climate.
In this climate, yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
You could also put like palm trees like temporary, like they could put palm trees and then remove them like for the weather. There's options too with things like that, I think.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
In other words, the palm tree could still stay alive, in like at least 4 months or something. But after that, you're going to have to remove it because you're going to watch it wither or
it'll die out in the winter. Yeah, yes. Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So then, me, I'm always about the numbers. So is that cost prohibitive or not? So again, you want to look at that too, as far as your budget, timing. Is that something that you want to do?
Yes.
If you're that much in love with it. Okay. So then my other question, I guess, and we've talked about this a little bit. So I'm all again about the numbers. So now, have you thought about, or do you know where you're going to get the money to do this? And have you figured out yet how much this is going to cost?
No, I haven't figured out how much it's going to cost yet, but the architect is capable of doing, I forgot what they call it, a quantity estimator, whatever that technical word is, where you get the estimate on how much it costs to construct the building and acquire all of the materials. And because it's laid out in the inside, I think it's going to be easier to figure out the interior part. But the actual construction, I think, is going to be a challenge for me. And that's where I think I reached out to you first about it, remember? Because I was like, how much does it cost? I got the floor plans, but I don't know, what is this going to be, like $10 million? Or, I don't know how much it's going to be. So that's something that I got to work on.
Right. It may not be $10 million to construct it, but again, now you're talking about all the other things you want to put in it.
Right.
Like you say, the materials and all of that. So you got kind of two different costs, how to construct it, and then the cost of all the equipment and other items that you want to put in there as well.
Right. I do have some of the equipment costs.
Right. Which that you can do. Right. That part you can do. Okay, then. So we still need to figure out what it's going to cost
to do this.
Yeah. Right. And then since you said you wanted to be community based, and I know you've been on some of those webinars where I guess the I guess, Department of Planning and I guess other organizations, have the grants out there if the community based, but also for a lot of them, it seemed like they wanted you to be a nonprofit. So either you would have to partner with a nonprofit.
Yes.
To pull, to do this. So I don't know how much you've looked into that.
I've looked a little bit into that, and I do have a nonprofit that is an internship nonprofit that's a separate company. Mm-hmm. But I'm interested in, like I said, the second floor and the fourth floor being floors that are the open space gallery area and the IWN.Haus Club, the fourth floor, being consolidated into like a cooperative entity that would be managed by community members, meaning not the co-working community, but people that live in the area. And they would be running those two spaces and owning and having ownership. And of course, my company would be a partner or a member of the co-op, but I wouldn't have majority ownership. So, and I think that that's one of the things that I like. I don't know how that structure will work out in real estate because you know more about real estate than I do, Gail. So, I'm just trying to throw out some ideas in a way that I could engage the community, because I think putting something like this in the community, people are going to want to know, number one, do we have access to it? And how does it benefit us? So, yes, you would have access in terms of being able to program it and also be able to have ownership in the space. And it would be, a way in which it could be sustainable in terms of providing employment opportunities. So it'd be like a business opportunity, really. Right. And so that's a portion of the building. But clearly, floors, the basement floor, which is the Internet Webpages newspaper, and then the first floor, which is a personalized newspaper, digital printing center. Those two floors are owned by me and the entities that I control. And so those are the ones that I believe, particularly the first floor, is going to be able to finance the building, so to speak. So the printing component I'm looking at, if that is successful when I launch that will be the anchor tenant in the building. The anchor tenant in terms of like, this is the person who's paying for the operations of the building. And then, of course, the co-working center, the journalist co-working center could be ideally and a nonprofit legal entity, because that's the way that a lot of the journalism is going right now. The Sun-Times is nonprofit. I mean, not the Sun-Times, but the Reader. I don't know if the Sun-Times is nonprofit, but I know the Chicago Reader is nonprofit. A lot of your print and digital newspaper operations are going nonprofit right now. So that whole third floor could be a nonprofit entity. And I would be completely open to that because I think that that's something that, my background is in journalism and printing and publishing. So I'd be really open to exploring how that could be done. And in that way, you have 2/3 of the building really community driven and nonprofit. And then you have, just the basement and the first floor legal entities that would be for-profit legal entities. And that's the way I think that something like that would be an easier sell than saying that, hey, Dante's going to build this building. He's going to make money and he's going to just hire some people from the community. So I don't intend to go at it that way.
Okay. All right.
Dante, did you ever consider like the West Side besides just Bronzeville for I
don't know the West Side area. I've been here 32 years. All I know is North Side by the lake and some of the South Side, maybe up to Hyde Park. I don't know. I don't know the areas, to be honest.
The reason I'm stating that is because there was something going on with the Department of Planning, I think it was, or they have like sites that they want to sell, like, the properties of, like the whole land of.
Okay.
In areas that are like, underserved. The West Side looks very underserved. So you might be able to get grants to actually build a thing, joint grants, and that even construction wise, there's like social service agencies or agencies that like train, to be construction, whether it's electrical, plumbing, this and that, where you could get the graduates of the community.
They could actually build it. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Even if I don't locate on the west side, and I'm not opposed to that, I just don't know anything about the west side. I'll be honest with you. I don't. That's just the area. I'm just ignorant in that area, so to speak. But
I think everybody's ignorant of that area, so that's why it's a good place to promote what you're doing regarding communities. Even though, the South Side needs it, every side needs what you're doing. I'm just looking at what opportunities you might be able to get.
Yeah, and the other thing that I would say is that my primary driving factor is locating the building in an opportunity zone, which is generally a tax advantage area that is open to opportunity zone financing. So this is a real estate building. It's a real estate play. And if I'm able to be in an opportunity zone, I could package the deal in a way that it would be attractive to opportunity zone investors. And there's a whole bevy of funds of opportunity zone fund investors that do this type of stuff. And that's one of the reasons why I was interested in it being in an opportunity zone. I'm not that familiar with the west side. I would assume that there's opportunity zones on the west side. I'm not that familiar with them, but I do know about the ones that are, on the near south side, Bronzeville, Grand Crossing area. Though there's plenty of them over there. It's like large swaths of opportunity zones in that area. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, Gail. But there's plenty of it over there, and there's a lot of undeveloped land over there. But I have to explore. I'm gonna be honest with you, saying I don't know, and I will explore and look at the west side.
Bronzeville is a good idea too, because it's like in the middle. I'm trying to say, so you get both sides joining in the middle, like south and in the west. But what I'm saying is that, I'll give you an example. I think the one spot is around Lake and Kedzie. The Lake Street L is right there.
Okay.
And there's there's different, it's like lands that they want to, the city wants to get somebody to develop it.
So that's transit-oriented development, basically. That's right by the L. So that would be transit-oriented development.
Yes.
Yeah. I need to look into that, Gail. I'm going to probably look into that and talk to you about that. I know you know this city more than I do. You're a real estate developer, so I know you. Yeah.
So what I was going to say, based on everything that I'm hearing, what do you think your next step is? Because I know I keep hearing research, and number one, and maybe you need to come up with a list of people that you really need to talk to, or departments you need to go to kind of pitch your idea to see where there is help. And with that said, are you keeping your idea or this building or whatever a proprietary? Have you thought about that? Do you need trademark it?
Right. And so the metaverse version of the building is the first step, which would allow me to activate the building online. So that would be copyrighted and trademarked and all of that stuff. So I'm working on that right now as we speak with the final versions of the actual 3D model. So that'll be done in January. All of that will be done. And then I will do more of a public unveiling of everything I discussed here on the website, but that won't happen until I've filed all of the trademarks and copyrights. And that, so that's I'm in the process of doing that right now. So in the meantime, I'll send you all information, and I know as far as things that are going on, where there are grants or their money. And I think I might have sent you one, and you might have attended it. And I know it was the Department of Planning, and it was their first phase. But I know a lot of things that I listened to. And then Pritzker, they had a grant. I think that's over with now, but I don't know if they're going to do another one in 2023. But again, they wanted that to be community-based. Yes. So I do know when I had asked the question about it, on one of them, it was, you could be a for-profit, but you needed to partner with a nonprofit because they wanted the primary to be a nonprofit. So again, with a lot of the grants, there, for lack of a better word, maybe there be challenges or requirements that they ask. So some could be, okay, your primary has to be a nonprofit. Other requirements can be,
some kind of way form it like it's community based.
Okay.
And I know we've gone through this first phase. And again, I think it was through the Department of Planning, but they called it something. So maybe you can come up with a proposal, and an investor pitch deck of how you, view this to see if they're will and to apply. Right. To see if you can get this money. And the challenge there is that they have, certain dates. So we started this and it ends this date. And sometimes it's hard to keep up with the dates. So sometimes they get by you. And I know the city of Chicago is now selling, I think it's the city of Chicago through the Department of Planning, vacant lots. So I'll send, I don't know if I sent you that email where
I've seen that. Yeah, I think you might have sent me that. Yeah.
And you can go look and see where the lot is located if you're interested. But this is something recent, maybe in the last couple of weeks. If you're interested, and then they're letting you purchase it. I think but again, that's a process as well. Yes. So I'll send you that information. Okay. And anything that I can think of, like I said, at least let you figure out, okay, how are you going to pay for it? Because ultimately that's what we got to figure out. Where are you going to get the money? Do you want investors? How do you want to
do the deal?
Right. How do you want to do the deal?
Yeah. And I think it's the farthest that I've gotten right now is what I've shared with you both. And I appreciate the feedback. But the farthest that I've gotten is that I have to get the intellectual property locked down first before anything. Right. And then get the model where I could show this online and a person can physically walk through it without me having to navigate like I did today. So that is, I think, my initial approach. And then I would like to begin more so of a roadshow type of an approach to figuring out, pitching the idea, getting feedback, finding out the different programs. But those two things, the locking down the intellectual property, getting the 3D model available online, that's my priority for January 2023.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you're going to do the intellectual property. You absolutely should do that. I'm not understanding the 3D online. Who is your audience for that? And why are you doing that?
Okay, so the 3D model online allows me to build a virtual community around the concept of the building. And the building spaces could be used sort of like a metaverse where a person could actually come into the building. Like on the fourth floor, we could have an actual event on the fourth floor. If I wanted to do a gallery showing, I could use the second floor and people could actually walk through avatars and so forth. Okay. So that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, I got it.
Very limited use of the building. So it wouldn't be like people going into the print shop or meeting with me downstairs in the basement. It would be the specific areas that are community driven areas where I could see some utility, which would be people being able to meet outside or meet upstairs in the fourth floor or view the gallery. Maybe there's some type of showing, an NFT showing or a local artist or something like that I could reconfigure that space using that type of thing. And I could have people walk in and walk through that. That's the whole purpose of that. And that is more of getting the community engaged with the concept of the building. It's not to sell the concept of the building. It's mainly to build a community around the idea of the building. Okay. And that's mainly what the metaverse is good for in terms of the approach to putting the building in the metaverse. It's not to sell anything. I'm not going to run like an online store or take orders or anything. It's mainly to build community. Yeah. Well, I could do that, but the ultimate goal would be to get the community involved and get them behind me because and I know all of us know without any community input, this will go nowhere. This will be canceled on arrival. Especially if I don't have ADA compliant, it's very.
You need that. Mm-hmm.
I think so in new construction. With new construction. And, we have a very active ADA activist community here. If they don't like something, they will rally. So I want to make sure that I have the basic components of, the real basic, not everything, but the real basics. And so that's what I'm looking to revise a little bit before I file the intellectual property on this. But this is just the beginning stage.
Right.
So.
Sure. Okay. Got it. So I'm gonna think about your 3D online a little bit more.
I can share some more information with you about that.
And I'll get back to you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's really not, it's not meant, like I said, I'm not looking to do sales online initially. I'm mainly looking to kind of expose the concept of community and a gathering place and having some kind of space available where people can go. So yeah. I'm gonna say this to you. Okay.
Think about it. Why can't you do both? And again, I'm only coming from the perspective of you can generate a lot of money from this if this is the second step that you want to take. So you'll have funds and you can say, this is what I have and this is what I have saved and this is what I'm bringing to the table to initial investors
That's
or
true.
grants or whatever. So don't just,
rule that out. Okay.
Rule that out.
Okay. All right. Well, great. Well, listen, I'm not going to keep you guys. I really appreciate your input, Gail. I came to you first with this. Yeah. And so I really appreciate you giving me some insight. And Sam has been a supporter on some of my other
Hi, Sam.
Yeah.
We're going to meet. You guys are awesome. That's all I got to say. You guys are
let us see your face.
Sam's at work, so he can't talk.
Oh, he's at work. Okay.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he's even actually verbally talking, but
okay, I get it.
Sam has attended my crowdfunding events that I do. I do a virtual series about equity crowdfunding for social equity applicants. And so he's been involved with that since 2021.
Cool. Oh, wow. Okay,
yeah, that's a whole nother thing. Yeah.
Nice meeting you, Sam Theodore. And Dante, thank you so much.
Thank you,
I
Gail.
really appreciate it. I love it. I love it. I'm so excited for you. And as you know, I'll do anything that I can to help.
I know. You have.
So I'll put my hat on and see what things are out there and what our opportunities are out there for you.
Okay, well, look, I'll let you guys know when this is uploaded, and if you want to check it out later, I'll give you that link in the next 24 hours. And in the meantime, Gail, I'll follow back up with you on the intellectual property part and let you know how I'm going with that, as well as you, Sam, too. All right, thanks, guys.
Great. Okay, thanks.
Gail, pleasure meeting you, Gail.
Nice meeting you, Sam, and happy holidays to you guys.
Happy holidays to you, Sam and Gail, too. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Take care.